presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
It's time for Brewers baseball. We're at Vin Scully Avenue, Dodger Stadium, and on Father's Day, Major League Baseball supports the Home Run Challenge and prostate cancer awareness. It's the Brewers and the Dodgers. Game 4 of this 4-game series. The Brewers in need of a win to earn a split in this series. Father's Day, big crowd expected on a hot afternoon in Los Angeles. Boy, nothing better than those scenes right there. Players, fans, everybody's enjoying their day so far today. Hi, everybody. We welcome you on Father's Day. Great to have you with us alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Right off the bat, happy Father's Day to my dad, Dave, my stepfather, Gary. Hope you have a great day. We're also thinking about all those dads out there who may have lost their fathers, and it's a tough day for many of you as well. But we're here to enjoy some baseball today, Rock. And you've got your sweet hat on, your Father's Day hat, because of your granddaughter, right?
Yeah, I was FaceTiming with Madeline, my granddaughter, back in Wisconsin. I had my hat on my way to the ballpark on the bus, and she said, "Papa, wear the hat on TV today." So how can you say no to that? So the hat is on. I want to say happy Father's Day to my dad, Pete, in Pennsylvania, a great mentor to me, not only when I was growing up and getting through my major league career, but to this day. So thanks, Dad, for everything. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, Principal Pete and the big papa over here. All right, baseball today. Matt Garza's on the mound. He's a father of 6. Just had twins last year at the end of the season. Appropriate that he pitches today. It's his second start of the year. He's coming back from an injury. What do we expect out of Matt Garza today?
Well, hopefully he's going to be able to battle the heat, because it's going to be in the upper 90s here today, so he's going to have to manage his pitch count pretty well. First time out after coming off that disabled list with the oblique injury, 4 innings, only 1 run, but the story behind that was he had base runners all over the place. He stranded 8 in 4 innings, but the key was he was able to make his pitches when he needed to. Hopefully he just progresses start to start and able to build up to 100 pitches.
Well, the temperatures are going to be soaring into the upper 90s today. That'll be a topic that Craig Counsell will discuss. We'll also get you to a player move. The Brewers made a transaction as we march our way towards first pitch. Stay with us. Father's Day from Dodger Stadium. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time.
Beautiful Dodger Stadium on a Sunday afternoon, Father's Day in Los Angeles. Brewers Dodgers just about ready for action today. And a couple of guys we got our eyes on today. One of them is Ryan Braun, who continues to swing the bat well. He has 7 career home runs at Dodger Stadium after this jolt last night. And his Powerball home run number is now 12 for the season. Braun back in the lineup and batting third. Some housekeeping for the Brewers. They made a transaction after the game last night. Corey Knebel, who pitched last night, optioned back to Colorado Springs to just get some work in, try to come back from his oblique injury. And Michael Blazek, who went on the disabled list with an elbow injury, is back 2 weeks later. He is active today and will likely pitch today in the finale of this series. That sets us up for first pitch. The lineups and the first pitcher coming right up. It's Father's Day. It's Brewers baseball today. We're glad you're with us. Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the night with luxury. Sunday afternoon in LA, Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. 99 degrees we've hit in Los Angeles. Great to have you with us today. Our terrific crew here in LA. And the son of Marvin, Dan Keener, producing Son of Lou. Mark Vittorio, our director today. As we get set for the final game of this 4-game series. Craig Counsell, he's back there somewhere. His batting order is courtesy of Potawatomi. He's got Jonathan Villar back in the leadoff spot. 5 hits in this series, including a decisive home run in Game 1. Scooter Gennett bats second with Ryan Braun in the 3-hole. Middle of the order is Chris Carter, Aaron Hill, and Kirk Neuenhuis. Martin Maldonado, Ramon Flores, and Matt Garza round out the starting 9. That will face Kenta Maeda, and he's just glad to be back on a mound today after what he endured in his last start against the Arizona Diamondbacks partner.
Yeah, got drilled a line drive on the leg from Paul Goldschmidt, but they had to help him off the field, but he's just fine right now. First year with the Dodgers after spending 8 years in the Japanese leagues, the Hiroshima Carp, and good numbers from Maeda in Japan, and good numbers here in the major leagues. 14th start 6-4 and a 275 earned run average. And let's look at the defense behind Maeda today. Brought to you by Menards. You got Howie Kendrick getting a start in left. He started at second base in yesterday's game. Peterson and Thompson in the outfield. Turner, Seager, Utley, and Gonzalez from third to first. And Wisconsin native A.J. Ellis behind home plate.
First ball swinging, Jonathan Villar swinging a foul, and away we go. Don't adjust your television sets. Those colors are true. Everybody's in the light blue accents today all across Major League Baseball. Father's Day also means Major League Baseball supports prostate cancer research and awareness. And you see a lot of the light blue with the players, the umpires, the light blue sweatbands. And wait until you see the catching equipment of Martin Maldonado today. It is spectacular. You see the prostate cancer research ribbons on all of our personnel as well today. Hot afternoon in Los Angeles. Weather's going to be a factor today. These two managers are both concerned about their players on the field, specifically their starting pitchers, the ones whose engines are running the hottest on a day like this.
And you got to keep an eye on Tim Timmons, the home plate umpire. He doesn't get a break back there. All in black. 99 degrees, and there's your umpiring crew, the crew chief Mike Everett.
Very glad to be at third base today as opposed to behind the plate. VR up there hacking, down 0-2. Jonathan continues to impress. His average is up over 300 again. He's hitting .302. Has 6 home runs, 29 driven in. His 6th home run proved to be a game winner in the 9th inning in Game 1 on Friday. And the Brewers have had 2 gut-wrenching losses the last 2 games. Had a late lead in the 8th on Friday in Game 2. It was 2-1 at the time. Justin Turner hit a game-tying homer and then had the walk-off in the 10th inning. And then last night the Brewers let a 3-run lead get away and ended up losing that one 10-6. It was a lot of offense in the game yesterday. Both starters were out in the 3rd inning, so a couple of exhausted bullpens as we arrive to today's play.
Yeah, 6-run 3rd inning for the Dodgers in last night's game, and that pretty much sealed the deal. Now the Brewers have a chance with a win today to even the series.
Here's the pitch to VR in the air, right center. Long run, and it's going to be run down by Peterson. VR hit it well, but Peterson plays about as deep as any center fielder in the league, and he's able to fetch it for out number 1, and that's how the game begins for Maeda.
Yeah, it plays deep for everybody, even the leadoff hitter. And well, when you play that deep, you don't have to go back too much. It's basically just going over. That's a curve ball from Maeda. He throws all 4. You can see Peterson a little bit flat-footed when that ball was hit, but he doesn't have far to go to catch that one.
So here is Scooter Gennett now after the VR fly ball out. Gennett's really swinging the bat well. Average is up to 267 now. Scooter Gennett, he has 5 home runs. In this series, he has 4 hits, and he's driven in a couple of runs. Has a double. And a foul ball sets the count at 0-2. The line drive we're talking about off the bat of Goldschmidt against Maeda, right off the knee. And he had to come out of that game, and there were serious questions whether he'd be able to make the start today. But the pain came on fast, and it went away fast, relatively speaking, and he's able to pitch in his regular turn of the rotation. As a matter of fact, he went through all of his between starts activities just like normal.
Hey, he did pick up a win in that game against the Diamondbacks. 5 1/3, only 2 earned runs. He got off to a tremendous start this year. When you look at his first 4 starts, he allowed just 1 run combined in his first 4 starts.
And had 3 wins in his first 4 starts as well. His numbers are pretty good. Now, he's not giving the Dodgers a lot of deep starts. His longest start of the year, 7 innings, and he's only done that once. 5 1/3 last time out because of the injury. Did pitch into the 7th inning in the start prior to that against Colorado. It's going to be asking a lot out of a starter to go deep into the ball game here today under these conditions. Right now, Maeda ranks 11th in the National League in ERA.
And although he doesn't throw all that hard, averaging almost a strikeout per innings pitched. I mean, that's pretty good for a guy that, you know, throws about 92 is all. Curveball, slider, changeup.
Osaka, Japan. Had a great career in Japan for Hiroshima. He was one of the starters in the Japanese major leagues. Last year, as a matter of fact, he was a 15-game winner and a season ERA of 2.09. Jeanette sends one deep into left center. That's way back there. Peterson looks up, and it's gone. Scooter Jeanette goes opposite field, home run at Dodger Stadium. Well, the Heat will make the ball fly, and Jeanette picks up his 6th home run of the year. And the Brewers strike first here this afternoon.
Yeah, you would expect that the baseball is going to fly out of here today. You get it up in the air with anything on, you might have a chance to get it out of here. And Maeda made a mistake down the middle of the plate, and Scooter Jeanette knocking it out of here to center field. That was a 2-strike pitch that Maeda made a mistake on, and Jeanette able to give the Brewers a lead. Stay hot, Scooter.
Well, Maeda had allowed just 2 home runs since May 11th, and they were both off the bat of Noah Syndergaard, the Mets pitcher who hit a couple of bombs against Maeda in mid-May. So that was his first home run allowed since. He had had 6 straight starts without a home run given up until Jeanette goes deep. Maybe the last guy in the lineup here expecting to hit one out in that region at Dodger Stadium, but it's playing a lot different than it normally does.
Yeah, wind blowing across a little bit from center to right, but it didn't matter. Scooter able to get enough of it to get it out of here.
Ryan Braun with 1 away, and a pop-up in the infield. Chase Utley coming in. He's got it for the out. 2nd out of the inning. Utley looks right at home in the baby blue accents, right? Reminds me of his UCLA days. The 2 veterans over there on the right side of the infield, Utley and Adrian Gonzalez.
Utley had yesterday off, giving him a chance to catch his breath, and back in that leadoff spot tonight.
Howie Kendrick started at 2nd yesterday. Kendrick is in left field today. 2 outs. Here's Chris Carter now. Carter hitting cleanup in the absence of Jonathan Lucroy in the Brewers batting order. Lucroy gets a well-deserved day off, and I'm sure this works out perfectly for Craig Counsell. That his catcher, who is a workhorse behind the plate, takes this hot Sunday afternoon off.
And it's always the backup catchers that get these days. The day game's about 100 degrees.
The cue shot, only infielder on that side is Gonzalez. He hits Maeda, and that will retire the side. But the Brewers get some unlikely power. Opposite field home run by Scooter Jeanette. 6th home run of the year. 1-0 Brew Crew to get us started on Father's Day.
Home run by Scooter Gennett to start us out. Now we head to the bottom of the first. Dave Roberts, first-year skipper of the Dodgers. They've won back-to-back games, 4 games over 500. And his batting order today looks like this. He's got Utley, Seager, and Turner at the top. Adrian Gonzalez, Trace Thompson, Jock Peterson in the middle. Howie Kendrick, A.J. Ellis, and Kenta Maeda rounding out the starting 9. The Potawatomi Dodgers batting order. Matt Garza on the mound for the Brewers today. His second start of the season. Spent the first 2 months on the disabled list with a lat injury.
Yeah, made 3 starts down in the minor leagues before making a start against the Giants. And, 1 run in 4 innings. He needed a lot of pitches. He left a lot of men on base in that start. 8 overall in 4 innings. So you figure maybe able to extend himself a little bit further than that today.
Council saying no restrictions on Matt Garza as far as pitch count goes. It all depends on how he's pitching and how the lineup is responding to him today. First pitch on the way to Chase Utley, back in the leadoff spot, in there for a strike. Utley's been the most oft-used leadoff hitter for Dave Roberts. Yesterday had Jock Peterson leading off as Utley had the day off from the starting lineup. Peterson had a good game, had 3 hits and a home run yesterday. Most of those great years in Philadelphia, Utley hit second with those terrific Philly teams. Shane Victorino was the ideal leadoff hitter as Utley fouls it away.
A combination of batting average and power, stands right on top of home plate, just daring you to come inside. Well, these days you can get in on him, not like when he was younger, but you got to be careful in there.
In this series, Utley has 1 hit. He's been hit by 2 pitches in this series. He does get hit a lot. He's the active leader in that category. Stands right on top of the plate. Two-two. Garza starting his afternoon against Los Angeles, and a swing and a base hit up the middle. So Utley hangs in there, and on a 2-2 pitch, muscles one into center field.
Now let's check out the Menards Brewers defense for this afternoon's game. Just one change from last night. That's Martin Maldonado getting a start behind home plate. Jonathan Lucroy going to sit this one out. He's been catching an awful lot. Maldonado with that sweet catching gear behind home plate today.
Greg Council said he had to have Maldonado in the lineup today because the gear was appropriate. Starting to manage now according to the equipment that arrives for these specialty games.
All right, got to have him play, right? I don't think Lucroy is going to wear that, but looks good on Martin.
Garza snatches the ball out of the air, not pleased with that pitch. Corey Seager, outstanding rookie shortstop of the Dodgers. And he is one of 4 left-handers in the lineup today against Garza. It's a day you're trying to be as economical as possible, but at the same time, as we saw with Scooter Gennett, you can't afford to pitch in the middle of the plate either because the ball is really flying here. There are a lot of nights here at Dodger Stadium when you can get away with very hard hit balls to the outfield because of how big it plays at night, especially when it cools off. And that ball is hammered into left center field. That's way back, and it's off the wall. Utley's racing towards third. He'll stop there. The throw to second, not in time. That's a double for Seager. Back-to-back hits to start the inning for Los Angeles.
Now that ball smoked by Seager into the gap out there. One hops the wall. Neuenhuis plays it pretty well out there and made it fairly close at second base. And that ball was blistered out there, and pretty good throw into second base by Neuenhuis to force the issue, but Utley able to get into third base.
So Matt Garza in trouble right away. Second and third, nobody out. Justin Turner now, who's been huge the last couple of games. He drove in all 3 runs on Friday night, 2 homers, and then had the walk-off in the 10th inning. Ended up as a single. Would have been a double under normal circumstances, but the bases were loaded and it ended the game. His home run tied it that night in the 8th inning, and then he won it in the 10th. And then last night, with the Brewers up 3 runs, he hit a 3-run homer to quickly tie it at 5, and then the Dodgers never looked back, winning the game 10-6. Brewers got to figure out a way to get him out. He's been destroying off-speed pitches. So this series, 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in, including that 3-run homer yesterday, and he scored 4 runs.
And all of the hits that he's had in this series have been on off-speed pitches. Cut fastballs, sliders, and curveballs. Brewers have been able to handle him with the fastball.
Garza's got him 0-2. And he got him. Fastball and a strikeout. That's the smart play, isn't it? The fastball, maybe 2 days too late.
Well, it seems like it. He got ahead of him 0-2 and then chased one up and in. Well, he made a mistake. It made a mistake to Turner on a number of occasions in this series on the off-speed pitch. It hurt him.
A swing and a miss and a between the legs follow through for Turner. Big out for Garza early. Gets the strikeout with runners at second and third. So now Adrian Gonzalez will hit. Gonzalez has bumped his batting average to .275. Just 6 home runs this year for Gonzalez. In this series, he has 5 hits, 5 for 13. He was 3 for 5 last night, had a double. He drove in a run. And he pulls that one down the right field line, foul. Hooked it into the stands.
Yeah, just a little bit out in front of a curveball. Garza had a really good curveball his first time against San Francisco. Got a lot of outs with that pitch. Was able to throw it over early in the count to keep the Giants off the fastball. Left that one up a little bit.
There's a lot more to the story in his last start than his line score. He only gave up the 1 run. He was in trouble in just about every inning, but the Brewers struggled defensively behind him and left a few outs out there. Garza probably had to pitch a little deeper than he needed to, and nothing showed up as an error in the game. They were just simple misplays, opportunities at a double play, an opportunity to throw out a base runner at third base, and the Brewers couldn't execute. Garza ended up lasting only 4 innings, threw 87 pitches in 4 innings.
Yeah, but Counsell and Garza both pleased with the way Garza felt the day after his start. He felt pretty good, so I don't think health is so much the issue for Matt Garza at this point. It's just being able to build up that pitch count, get his stamina back, and I think he's completely over that oblique issue.
2-2 the count. Garza could use another strikeout here. He's got runners at second and third behind him. And a swing and a little jam shot. Long run in. Braun makes a basket catch. They've got an out at second, but they go to the plate, and he's out there. Brewers had outs everywhere.
I'm not sure what was going on. I don't know why Seager was taking off right away. That actually forced Utley to go home. He wasn't planning on doing that.
And Utley is a dead duck at home plate. Double play to end the inning.
There was all kind of traffic going on. This great catch by Braun, first of all. Rock, walk us through this.
What is Seager doing? I'm not sure he realizes how many outs there are. That's why Utley felt like he had to go home, because ordinarily he would have just stayed at third. I mean, you don't tag up on a ball like that, but he was forced to go because Seager, I'm not sure what was going through his mind. Maybe it's the heat.
I think it might be. I wasn't sure what I was seeing there for a moment, having double vision. Now that we have hindsight, as we get the second inning started, if Braun just calmly makes a throw to second base, he's got the force play, it's an easy out, but he's thinking about the run tagging.
Right.
And giving up a run right there. So it was actually a good throw and it all works out, but I'm thinking Utley's base running move was a good one, right?
Yeah, he had to go because there was going to be an out anyway, right?
He forces a throw. What if it gets away from the catcher and everybody
he's
lives?
Taking his chance, but I don't even think Braun was even focusing in on Seager. He was looking directly at Utley to make sure what he was doing. I don't think he had any indication that Seager's between second and third.
So most of the Brewers, at least Scooter Gennett, yelling at Braun, throw it here to second base. What a wild finish to that inning. It's a mistake by the Dodgers rookie, and it cost him. And Garza ends up getting out of it. It was a really good catch by Braun, a running basket catch, and a throw on the run. Looked like a quarterback on a bootleg.
Right.
There.
You know what it's like? I mean, it's like a quarterback didn't see a linebacker in front of a receiver, right? I mean, Braun was looking right through Seager. He didn't even know where he was. But they got the double play, and once again, Matt Garza able to strand some base runners.
Ends up stranding one in that inning. And the putout goes 7-2 on the double play as Aaron Hill leans out on one. A fly ball to Kendrick in left for out number one. A reminder that today's game we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. It's to benefit prostate cancer research. So far, after 4 days this week, $1,775,000 has been raised, and you can make a pledge. Just go online, homerunchallenge.org. And we've already had a home run today. Scooter Gennett, opposite field home run into the bleachers in left center. Good day for the home run challenge, you would think, with the ball flying at Dodger Stadium on a very hot afternoon. 99-degree afternoon in LA. Kirk Neuenhuis back in the lineup today. Did not start the first two games. The Dodgers had left-handers on the mound the first two. And Neuenhuis has been in there the last two games with right-handed starting pitchers up. Maeda, the 2-1, and now it goes 3-1.
Yeah, a lot of off-speed stuff, change-ups, curveballs. Most of his strikeouts this year for Maeda have come on the slider, almost half of them.
Neuenhuis among league leaders in pitches per plate appearance, and he draws the walk. So he sees 5 pitches in that plate appearance and draws a 1-out walk.
Hey, the crew returns to Miller Park this Friday to begin a jam-packed weekend series with Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals, featuring a free shirt Friday, the annual Negro Leagues tribute game, and the Greg Vaughn bobblehead day. Reserve your spot today at Brewers.com.
Nationals are coming here to LA tomorrow. What a matchup they have tomorrow. Scherzer against Kershaw here at Dodger Stadium.
A lot of punch outs in that game.
Oh, I'm telling you. Washington is in San Diego today for the final game of their series. And then the Brewers are going to see the Nationals and the Dodgers on the next homestand. Martin Maldonado bats with 1 away and a runner at first. His hits have been few and far between this year, but his playing time has been few and far between. He only has 4 hits all season, but one of those is a home run.
And he showed a pretty good eye at the plate. I mean, there was a game at Miller Park where he walked 3 times. And of course, that's going to happen from time to time when you're batting in the 8th spot.
That's a little sinking liner. What a catch by Thompson. Oh, that ball really had some tail on it, and Thompson lays out. Outfielders will tell you the most difficult play to make, the line drive right at you, and Thompson reaches out and takes a hit away from Maldonado.
Yeah, tough to judge him, but when they have tail like that, that's a pretty good curveball by Maeda. Watch the ball tail. It slices as it gets out there, making it a little bit easier. And big, tall Trace Thompson able to lay out and grab it before it hits the ground. Two hands it. You like to see that, right?
Boy, that's textbook. That's beautiful. Great look from the right field camera as well. You see the challenge of an outfielder with that line drive sinking so fast. It's hard to judge. But played perfectly. 2 outs in the inning. Neuenhuis still at first. Here's Ramon Flores. Ramon had a good day yesterday. Couple of hits. Drove in 2 runs. There's that big curveball in there for a strike.
All the good plays are on the guy that didn't get to play much, right? Martin Maldonado.
Yeah, that's right.
He'd love to get a base hit, just early hit to take the pressure off somewhat, but Trace Thompson able to rob him. Kind of the way it goes. You got to be strong-willed to be a backup catcher. It's a tough job, and especially when you're playing behind a guy like Lucroy, who hardly ever takes a day off.
I'll tell you though, they make fine broadcasters.
Well, backup catchers like me got to sit around a lot and watch
and think
and learn, right?
Neuenhuis goes a swing and a foul. Now, did you ever, when you were in the bullpen, say, did you ever think you wanted to be an announcer at that time? Were you ever like thinking past your playing career?
Oh yeah. Yeah, when you
as in next week?
Well, when you sit in the bullpen as much as I did, you're always thinking about what's the next move.
How am I going to feed my family?
That and the fact that 2 elbow surgeries, I think that's a wake-up call. Yeah, I always thought that I could do something along those lines. I was always kind of a ham in that regard. I'd always be the guy to raise his hand, say, hey, which one of you guys want to do the lineups today? We did that once in a while back in the old days.
Nice.
I'll do it. And once in a while you do the nicknames of guys in a lineup. And I always enjoyed that stuff.
Well, that's why you and Martin Maldonado have that special bond.
Yeah.
Bob Uecker as well. It's always interesting watching you guys get together. You and Ueck and Maldonado. You speak the same language, even though Maldonado is bilingual. It's the same language of a catcher.
Yeah, it's the backup catcher grunts and groans. We get them. How you doing today, Martin? I get what he means. He's doing okay.
You know exactly
it
what
means.
he means.
I wish I was in the lineup, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
It's like group therapy. 2-2 the count on Flores. Neuenhuis ready to run at first. And he takes off. And the pitch is up and away, and really no shot. Ellis did the wise thing. He didn't even bother. As a matter of fact, the middle infielders didn't even bother to cover because Neuenhuis got such a huge jump.
Yeah, you got it. Look at this. I mean, that's a running start. I mean, that's almost like a 3-2, 2 outs kind of jump. Maeda not paying much attention to him.
6th steal for Neuenhuis.
So you wonder what kind of pitch Flores is going to get here with Garza on deck and first base open.
Full count, 2 outs. And now Ellis.
I think that's what he's talking about. You got a guy on deck that doesn't handle the bat all that well. Flores had 2 hits yesterday. Our quick trip to the mound.
And you see Garza due next, looking for his family in the stands. I was just guessing on that. Well, Maeda fortunate to have a catcher like A.J. Ellis back there. He's one of the best. He's a great thinker. Speaking of future broadcasters. Flores offered at a breaking ball. He fouls it away. Full count. We'll try it again. Got a runner at second now. The Brewers lead 1-0. And that one's down and in. They'll ask if he went. He did not. And first and second. Back-to-back breaking balls after the AJL's visit to the mound. And so now the Dodgers will attack Matt Garza.
Yeah, slider not even close. And they're figuring if he offers at a bad pitch, then so be it. But Matt Garza is the guy they wanted.
Healthy cut from Garza.
A lot of pitches from Maeda already.
That's exactly what the Brewers wanted. Have him standing on the mound. Have the Dodger infielders standing around. Today more than any other day is about pace for a pitcher.
Yeah, and get into that bullpen. The Dodgers bullpen has worked a lot in this series.
Garza takes a strike. Garza has never hit much. He is a career .085 hitter. Just 0 for 1 this year. Last year had 3 hits and 39 at-bats. 2 on, 2 out. The 0-2 is swung on and missed, and that's the inning. Brewers clear the pitcher spot. Maeda has to throw a lot of pitches in the second. A couple of walks. 1-0 Crew. All-star dads and father figures across Wisconsin. Fans can share photos that depict how their father figure is an all-star. You can do it on Instagram or Twitter using the hashtag Brewers All-Star Dad. And the contest ends today. 6 winners will receive 2 sweet tickets for the Brewers and Diamondbacks game on July 27th. A great cause. Happy Father's Day to all of those dads out there. We're missing our dads today and our families. All of our kids, those on the traveling party in graphics. Dave Trout, his dad Jules, Doc, running our tape machines in the truck, his father John, and here in the booth, John Reynolds and Aaron Charlton, John's father Charles, and Aaron Charlton, our stats man, his dad John. And we're also thinking about all those folks out there who have lost their fathers. Yeah. This can be a tough day for them, and we're thinking about all of you and celebrate the life that you had with your dad. Enjoy a little baseball today. It's not easy sometimes.
Well, the dads, the parents helped us get to where we're at today, and Thank them for that. All the sacrifices. Did you call Paco today?
I called him, talked to him. He's bunkering down for a full day of U.S. Open golf and Brewers baseball. 2 screens going. And a big fat cigar. A couple of Miller Lights.
My kind of guy.
A couple of 10 Miller Lights.
Yeah.
Trace Thompson leads off for Los Angeles. His dad is a broadcaster, was a terrific player, former Milwaukee Buck, Michael Thompson. High in the air, left center. Neuenhuis is over, and he's got it for the out. Trace retired on a long fly ball out. What is normally routine ends up to the deep reaches on a day like this.
It just got him out a little bit on the end. A slider that stayed up, but Thompson got it on the end of the bat. That's what kept it in the ballpark.
Jock Peterson hit leadoff yesterday, hitting down in the order today. Batting in the 6th spot. He powered a home run out of here last night to deep right center. Home run derby participant last year. He and Todd Frazier, they put on one of the great home run derby shows. They might have saved the home run derby with the new format last year. It is a fun event to watch now, the way they have it. There's a jam shot, and Jeanette will make the play. It is Father's Day, and there's been a lot of Father's Day discussion, and we had a chance to visit with Craig Counsell about today's day. His dad, John, worked for the Brewers for many years. We asked him for an update.
Well, my dad's watching my boys play baseball today, so that's how it should be. You know what I mean? So he's they're playing in some baseball games in West Bend today, and he's getting to watch them play. I met Aaron Hill's father today down in the lobby, and talked to Matt Garza's father today down in the lobby. So, and they're proud dads today. You know, they're as excited as anybody today to come to the park and watch their sons play in a Major League Baseball game.
Great words from Craig Counsell. He's always got great perspective on.
Yeah, he does.
On certain days, and yeah, his dad, John, longtime Brewers employee, former a ball player, professional ball player in the Twins system. As Kendrick bounces to third, and Garza is going to have a quick inning. That's what he needed. 1, 2, 3 on 7 pitches.
Vacation circuit thanks to championship courses like Wild Rock Golf Club, built around and through a former quarry, Trapper's Turn Golf Club, an Andy North design course, and Coldwater Canyon Golf Course at Chula Vista Resort. That's one of Wisconsin's most historic golf courses. Good place to be. Got the U.S. Open going on today. The U.S. Open will be in Wisconsin next year at Erin Hills. Maeda back to work. A lot of pitches in the first 2 innings for the Dodgers starter. First ball swinging VR and a hot grounder right to second. Utley makes the play for out number 1. Maeda with 46 pitches through the first 2 innings. Had a 20-pitch first inning, giving up a home run to Jeanette, and Rock a 26-pitch second inning. And the Brewers are doing exactly what they want to do today, try to get the Dodgers into their bullpen again.
Yeah, because the Dodgers have thrown over 16 innings from their bullpen so far in this series. That's a lot in 3 games. So you figure they're a bit tired. And the longer Maeda goes, the better it is for the Dodgers.
1 away, Scooter Gennett at the plate. Shows bunt this time. It's always a fun thing to do. Go bridge, hit a home run, and then show bunt next time up.
I like it. Go bridge.
Shows bunt again. Takes a strike. I don't know if his heart's really into bunting, but he's at least trying to get the attention of Justin Turner at third base.
Get him in, but he moved in a little bit. Now he's going back.
He says, "I'm not buying it." And a spinner in there. No, it's around the plate. Ball 2. Home plate umpire today, Tim Timmons. Got to keep him hydrated today.
Water. Keep drinking water.
And Maeda misses up and away. Now he drew the short straw today. Weather's been great here. First 3 days, night games, been perfect. Another breaking ball, this time in there for a strike.
Good day to be in the Dells, wouldn't it? Zipping down one of those water slides.
Just like Augie and Craig Kashawn and Sophia.
Yep.
Full count, and Jeanette backs away. Three-two from Maeda, and Jeanette swings and fouls it away. Dells is a perfect spot on a day like this. It's not quite as hot there as it is here. Look at these guys. This is our crew right here.
You know, they sent me that picture a couple of days ago just taunting us.
I was trying to figure out who that was. That the people are supposed to be working hard.
Yeah, they're our production folks in the Dells.
And Augie and Craig and producer Brent Reeland.
They're taunting us is what they were doing there. Why else would they send us that picture?
Now this one's more of the, you know, this is kind of the glamour shot with Sophia and Augie and
Got the sunglasses
Craig.
on. Yeah, styling.
And they were in bathing suits 5 minutes after that picture. As Jeanette swings and misses, Maeda comes all the way back to get him. Down 3-1, and he just stuck with the curveball, and Jeanette is a strikeout victim, the second K for Maeda. 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes Ryan Braun. Braun's got his dad, Joe, here this week. Matter of fact, Joe was in San Francisco, too. He's been on this road trip.
Might see him in Oakland. Yeah, right back to the same hotel in San Francisco tonight.
That's right. I just left my suitcase there.
It's a good thing because I left my power cord in my room.
I'm sure they'll have one.
Yeah.
Braun swings and lines one into left center, and that's going to shoot the gap all the way to the wall. It goes, and it's mishandled in left center. Braun content with a double. Will stop there. It's a 2-out base hit, an extra base hit for the Brew Crew.
And Ryan Braun keeps on hitting at Dodger Stadium, one of his favorite spots.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes like that to Braun and get away with it. A slider that just hung up in his zone, and you know that big long 32-inch bat able to rip it into the gap, and a 2-out double.
Brewers continue to hit. They've had plenty of hits at Dodger Stadium and base runners. Cashing them in has been the challenge, though. Yesterday they scored 6 runs. You figure that's going to be good enough to win a game, but Brewers struggled on the mound yesterday. Well, it sets up Chris Carter now with 2 outs.
You're not going to overcome too many 6-run innings. The Dodgers able to put up a 6-run third. You're not going to lose too many games when you put up a 6-run inning.
Carter last time up bounced to first base. Dodgers play a big shift with Chris Carter at the plate. They don't think he can hit one to the right side. He did last time up, but it was right off the end of the bat, and it was right to Adrian Gonzalez. They had him played perfectly. Carter's on the home run leaderboard, courtesy of Powerball. He is the club leader in that category. And he's currently 3rd in the National League at homers, 18. Braun hit number 12 here last night. One and two the count, and Carter fouls it away. Boy, Adam Duvall keeps hitting homers for the Reds, Rock. He hit another one last night. He's got 20 now for the Reds. He and Nolan Arenado lead the National League in home runs with 20, and then there's Carter with 18. Yoenis Cespedes, Trevor Story, each with 17.
He came over to Cincinnati from the Giants. He was in the minor leagues. I would imagine San Francisco would like to have him in the lineup right now.
Yep.
Hunter Pence on the DL.
They're searching for a right-handed power bat, but they made that deal. Adam Duvall went from the Giants to the Reds in the Mike Leake trade, and at the time the Giants had plenty of outfielders, and there was no room at the end for Duvall in the big leagues. Two-two. Carter takes a ball low. 3-2 now.
Of course, not to say Duvall would be having the same kind of season in that ballpark in San Fran either.
That's a good point. Never know. You get traded. It's a new environment. Maybe some different coaching, different perspective.
Fly ball hitter's good in Cincinnati.
Not so much at AT&T Park. Full count, and Carter, they'll ask if he went. He did not. Ball 4. 3rd walk issued by Maeda. And with 2 outs, the Brewers now have 2 men aboard.
Number 9, Aaron Hill.
They're pretty close. I mean, it could have gone either way. You can see Carter looked like he might have held up. A.J. Ellis trying to get the call from Ryan Blackney.
And now it'll be Aaron Hill. Ellis having a chat with Maeda. Doesn't speak a whole lot of English, but he speaks baseball English, if that makes sense. AJ said it's easy to communicate with him.
There's certain hand gestures and motions that a catcher gives to any pitcher, regardless of what language you speak. I mean, resonates.
That'll be a big spot for Aaron Hill with 2 outs after Maeda retired the first 2. Big cut by Hill. Aaron's got his dad here, a spitting image of Aaron.
Yes, he is. You could tell right away who his dad was.
And Aaron's son is here, a little toddler, and he looks just like each of them in his own way. Those are strong chromosomes they're passing down, right? Aaron's got his family here, young daughter. Good family man. He's been a great influence on the clubhouse. He's been a good player. He's played well. He's had a great defensive season at third base. Had a terrific month of May at the plate. Very reliable.
He's a quality human being, even off the field.
Veteran guy the Brewers got in a trade with the Diamondbacks. He was part of the Gene Segura deal. Came over with Chase Anderson, and a young shortstop who's playing very well in the Midwest League, Isan Diaz. If you ever want to go check him out, he's up there in Appleton for the Timber Rattlers. 1-2 the count, 2 men aboard. And down he goes. Hill strikes out. And the Brewers strand 2 more. They've left 4 on the last 2 innings. 1-0 Crew on our way to the bottom of the 3rd at Dodger Stadium. Third inning. Hitting for the Cycle, Brewers Community Foundation's benefit bike ride for novice and experienced bikers alike. Returns to Miller Park this year, August 13th. The ride includes 4 routes of different lengths for riders to choose from, all of which begin and end at Miller Park. Riders will enjoy a fun day in the saddle, followed by a tailgate party and tickets to that evening's game versus the Reds. Proceeds will once again benefit local nonprofits focused on improving the lives of children and families in the greater Milwaukee area. And by the way, to register, visit brewers.com/bike ride.
Well done, partner.
Swinging a ground ball to short. A.J. Ellis is retired. First batter for Garza. Now he has retired 6 in a row after he had 2 on at second and third to start this game.
That was a meaty promo.
It wasn't. I'm not expecting that on a Father's Day. It's kind of a holiday, you know.
Plowed right through it, though. Like the pro that you are. Did you skip any words?
No. Well, I skipped Cincinnati. I figured if just saying the Reds would cover.
Yeah, that's good. I do that all the time.
You know who taught me that? Matt LePay, the professional promo reader that he is.
See, he would have blown through that, not skipped a word, and done it in half the time.
I'd run out of breath, though. Maeda, the pitcher, at the plate. Little jam shot pop up, and it's back in the seats. Oh, good catch back there. That guy's going to have a bruise across the entire width of his back, but he made the play. He'll have something to show for it. Wasn't the most coordinated fan catch I've seen, but he still got the job done. A slow roller. Garza struggles with these throws, and he can't make the play.
My goodness.
It's one of those things that is just in his head.
And he had him easily at first base. Knocked it down, and they're going to give Garza an error, as they should. Tries to go after it bare hands, changes his mind, and it's all about the footwork for Garza on a play like that. I mean, he had plenty of time to step and throw, and he threw it flat-footed and not even close.
Well, it is something that he's never been able to shake. Dodger fans will remember Steve Sachs went through an episode like that, Steve Sachs syndrome, where he couldn't throw the ball to first base.
Right.
Chuck Knobloch had something similar with the Yankees one year. But for Garza, as much as he works on it, he does PFP in spring training every year, and they're all fine. It's all fine until he gets into a game, and there's just that mental block.
It's all about the footwork for me. I mean, watching him throw to the bases, it's footwork issues. You saw what he did. He didn't step and throw. He threw flat-footed and spiked it right in front of him.
Something in his brain doesn't allow his body to function properly on the throw like that. And it's amazing that he can.
Right.
He's a pitcher.
Getting ready to say.
He's built to throw the ball where he wants to throw it. It just, whatever reason, that throw to first base.
Throw that baseball 60 feet 6 inches and pretty much put it where he wants it. But different throwing to the bases.
I'll never forget that game he had. He was actually pitching for the Cubs against the Brewers one year. And he was almost, well, he was a strike away from a shutout, a complete game shutout. And he got a little dribbler like that, and he threw it not just into the seats, like 10 rows up into the seats at Wrigley Field.
Right.
There's a high drive. Utley hits that one deep into left center field. Neuenhuis is back, and he makes the catch. Kirk Neuenhuis. And now they might have a play at first. Safe there. Maeda just gets back.
He was all the way to second base.
What a great catch by Neuenhuis.
Neuenhuis got to the wall. He kind of angled to the wall and then came across the wall and able to make the catch. And Chase Utley nearly hits one out of here to left center. That's just a good job by Neuenhuis, knowing exactly where he was. He knew he had room to go back, and he wasn't just satisfied with the catch. He almost doubled off the pitcher off of first base. Yeah, left field's a tough sun field here in this ballpark. Always has been.
Now, there's not a cloud in the sky today up above, so it's that high sky that we talk about in spring training, and you could see the reflection on his sunglasses. He was staring right into the sun. That is a superb play for the second out of the inning. And now on the first pitch, Seager lines one to right, a base hit. Maeda's going to third, and the throw comes all the way in the tag, and he's out at third. What a play! My goodness. Ramon Flores fires a strike to third base to end the inning. It was a beautiful catch and a tag by Hill as well. I don't think Maeda had any thought that there was going to be a play at third.
Yeah, it looks like he was out. Dave Roberts was out on the warning track and says, I got it. It's an out. And heck of a throw by Flores to end the inning.
Yeah, got him on the shoulder. No challenge. Two superb plays defensively for the Brewers. Put those on the reel. Out of the inning is Garza. 1-0 Brewers as we go to the fourth.
We're going to go with underrated. Let's see what the players
is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
Well, a heck of a throw by Ramon Flores to get Maeda at third base, ending the inning. So the Brewers are able to end 2 innings on throws from the outfield. One by Braun. Now you got Flores. Got the pitcher going from first to third, and this is a strike by Flores. And you can see clearly that Aaron Hill able to make the tag on the back before the foot gets in there. So 2 very good plays to end innings. And Ramon Flores, a beautiful throw from right field.
And that's the best throw we've seen him make all season. And it was a big one. Gets Garza out of the inning. Neuenhuis made a great catch for the second out of the inning. And it'll be Neuenhuis to lead off. You love good defense. I tell you, that is inspiring for a ball club when you're playing hard on a hot day like this. It's easy to drag a little bit on a day like this, but the Brewers, and it's been their character this year, and it's been impressive that they have played hard every day. They get after it as a group. That's the one constant you hear when you talk to opposing players, opposing broadcasters, those who watch the Brewers say, you guys play hard. I think that's a testament to Craig Counsell. There's a swing and a miss. Neuenhuis is gone. A strikeout for Maeda.
There's no doubt that the effort has been there for this Brewers ball club. There have been times where they just come up short. And one of the reasons why they're 7 games under 500 and having a very rough road trip, San Francisco and LA. But they have been aggressive on the bases for sure. They've stolen 7 bags in this 4-game series so far. Trying to do what they can to, generate some offense.
Neuenhuis has the stolen base today. And at least 1 in each of the 4 games. And the last team to come to Dodger Stadium and have at least 1 stolen base in all games of a 4-game series, you got to go back to the 06 season. The Rockies did it August of 06. Maldonado, a big swing, loses the bat.
Of all the teams that you would think of to come in here and steal bases, Rockies are probably one of the last on the list. You don't think about those guys as base stealers, more home run hitters. There's a kind of an interesting hack by Maldonado.
Something you might see on the drum line. There's a strike, a fastball in there. Let's see, the 06 Rockies. I wonder if Todd Helton had a stolen base that day. That was the year before they went to the World Series.
A sneak attack. Back end of a double steal, maybe.
Maeda deals a 1-2, and it's outside. Maldonado was robbed of a hit his last time up. Lined out to right. Great catch by Thompson on a forward dive. 2-2 the count. And he's gone. A strikeout. Back-to-back Ks, now 3 in a row. Make it 4 outs in a row for Maeda.
Yeah, a week from today, it's Greg Vaughn bobblehead day at Miller Park. All fans in attendance as the Brew Crew wraps up its series against the Nationals. We'll get a bobblehead of the former Brewers slugger donning his famous 1990s jersey. That's courtesy of Pepsi.
Greg's going to be in the ballpark. Looking forward to seeing Greg for his bobblehead day. He still looks the same. That's the thing about Greg Vaughn.
Yeah,
he's in game shape.
And a great guy. Really is.
One of the best. Fantasy camp coach.
Yes, he is, and they love him. He's coming back this year.
Now Flores gets an at-bat after that great throw to end the inning. Brewers are hopeful that Ramon Flores will start to settle in, get some confidence going, and we've seen that emerge over the last couple of weeks. Playing regularly now with Domingo Santana on the disabled list. Maeda starting to dial in the command here. As Rock mentioned, not an overpowering pitcher, but he does rack up the strikeouts. And he's got another one. He strikes out the side. His last 5 outs are via the strikeout. 1-0 Brewers, 3.5 at Dodger Stadium. Homer at Dodger Stadium on Father's Day. Dell's Water Sports. You can get out on the water on whatever watercraft floats your boat. Pontoon, that's Rock Speed. Wave Runner, ski boat, kayaks, and canoes. Cruise Lake Delton and its pristine water for a feeling of a Northwoods getaway. That's what I prefer right there.
You right there.
Jet ski.
The need for speed.
I'm all about the jet skis.
That's me right there.
There's Rock Speed. And there's Justin Turner on land.
And a little big town on the radio.
All right, good call. Turner leads off. Matt Garza getting some excellent defense behind him here today. That was not the case in San Francisco, but Brewers have more than made up for it. Turner, last time up, a strikeout victim. Garza has one, and he got Turner on a high fastball. Brewers are having a tough time retiring Justin Turner in this series. Maldonado working Garza through it. Some body language back there. And he busts him in with a fastball.
Which is why that was such a big play by Flores to end the third. Throwing out Maeda, going to third base. Deal with Turner with nobody on.
There's a strike. I'm sure Garza is aware of the tempo of this game. He can slow it down, but this is the day when you want to try to work as fast as you can. That one's in the air, might stay playable. Over is Flores. He's fighting the sun, and Flores makes the catch. Man, that was a tough play.
Yeah, the way he was able to angle his body to look away from the sun and still make the catch. That was a very nice play defensively out in right field. In foul ground. Well, you love to be able to get it out. With Turner, the way he's swinging the bat on a 3-1 pitch and a foul pop. See the way he was able to angle his body, looking away a little bit from the sun, shielding his eyes with the glove. Look at how those glasses are shining there. Looking right into that sun.
That sun is pouring down on him. But an excellent play. That was no routine foul pop right there. So a big out, gets Turner. Now Gonzalez first ball swinging. Garza got out of a jam in the first. He had runners at second and third with nobody out and was able to get through it. There's a base running mistake in that inning by Seager, the runner at second. And Garza working around his own error last inning. Two terrific plays defensively. And he's got a man out in the fourth. 2 strikes on Gonzalez as he misses high. Bright sunny day in Los Angeles, but it is hot. And a fly ball to left, routine for Braun. And there is out number 2. Well, Brewers defense on display on this hot afternoon. That was the play that really set up Garza in the first inning, the double play that ended the inning. Neuenhuis with that catch up against the wall, fighting the sun the whole way. That was in the third. And then this throw might be the play of the day.
There's a Raul Mondesi in right field in Dodger Stadium.
Nice.
And this is a nice play on foul ground by Ramon Flores. We've made 2 nice plays today. Battling the sun the whole way.
It's a very good play by Danielle, too, the ball girl.
Yeah, getting out of the way.
Evacuating the premises. Good job, Danielle. And she took her bucket with her. You can't leave the bucket. That's important.
That's part of the training. Can't just put anybody down there, you know.
No.
There's training involved.
Got to have a little skill.
Even they need to hydrate on a day like today.
It's hot. She's a gamer, though. She's ready. No problem. There's a shot to short right at VR, and that will end the inning. Trace Thompson retired. 1, 2, 3 for Matt Garza. Good work in the fourth. Coverage of baseball here on this Sunday, this Father's Day around Major League Baseball. And a shutout from Tehran. I tell you, that's a name that keeps popping up in the trade circles as the Braves beat the Mets. Orioles over the Blue Jays. You got Twins winning today, taking down the Yankees, and the Astros behind 5 2/3 from Mike Fiers. Shut out Cincinnati. And the one score that's not on there, it's notable, that just went final. The Rangers beat the Cardinals. The Rangers and the Astros sweep St. Louis in St. Louis. So 5 consecutive losses for the St. Louis Cardinals. Rangers beat them today 5-4. And now the Cardinals, Rock, are just 2 games over 500.
Yeah.
Garza with a base hit to right. Adrian Gonzalez gave up on it. I think he thought Utley was going to be there. And that one slips through for a base hit. And Matt Garza has a Father's Day gift.
He doesn't get many of those, but he's able to put the ball in play this time. And you can see Gonzalez just giving up. I think if he keeps going, there might be a play at first base. But Maeda, not even close. He just kind of gave up himself. So a rarity that you see right there. Matt Garza with a base hit.
He'll take it. Had just 3 last year. And he starts the inning with a single in the 5th. Back to the top of the order now, and Jonathan Villar. Brewers trying to deliver a knockout punch here to the Dodgers starter. Dodgers have not gotten any deep starts in this series, and yet they've won 2 out of 3. Matter of fact, their starter from yesterday, Mike Bolsinger, was optioned down to AAA after the game, after getting taken out in the 3rd inning yesterday. Villar pulls one to first. Gonzalez steps on the bag, goes to second. The tag in time. Double play. Smart move by Gonzalez, knowing he had the pitcher Garza running to second. Plenty of time to get 2.
And you figure that Craig Counsell is going to want to take a look at this one in the dugout. The question is the tag applied before Garza gets into second base? Mike Everett, the crew chief, says he's out, and so does Craig Counsell.
And a 2-footed buckled knee slide by Garza.
First time he touched the bag was with his knees. That's not ideal when you're sliding.
That's not how Maury Wills taught it here in Los Angeles. Jeanette, a swing and a miss.
Takes you a little bit longer to get to the bag when you touch with the knees.
That's more of a slip and slide kind of slide.
Yeah.
Jam shot to second. Well, Maeda is settled in. And he is through 5 now. And a lot of pitches the first couple of innings. Brewers lead 1-0. The Dodgers are coming up. Head to the bottom of the fifth. A reminder that Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes and better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Bottom of the fifth at Dodger Stadium. Happy Father's Day today. Hope you're enjoying this Sunday afternoon. Brewers lead 1-0 on a Scooter Gennett first inning homer. Went opposite field into the left center field bleachers here at Dodger Stadium. Garza's pitching well. He is through 4. He's coming off a 3-up, 3-down inning. He's got Jock Peterson leading off this fifth, and he deals him strike 1. A lot of games have gone final across the major leagues. The night game tonight is the Pirates and the Cubs. Be a good chance to see the rookie, the young phenom Jameson Taillon for the Pirates.
Yeah, they could use a good start out of him. The Pirates have lost 9 of 10 and 4 in a row.
Under 500. They're 33 and 35 now.
Right.
Cardinals got swept by the Rangers. They are 2 games over 500. The Chicago Cubs are a runaway train right now in the National League Central. I saw a note, I believe it was Buster Olney, but the Cubs have not had a lead of this significance since the late 20s. Chicago comes in 11.5 up on the Cardinals today. So right now they're 12 games up. Can go to 12.5 with a win over the Pirates tonight. That is just amazing.
Yeah.
Every Cubs fan I talk to is now in full-on nervous anxiety mode. Yeah, but they're the Cubs.
Right. Well, no, they're 46 and 20.
A swing and a miss. Peterson strikes out on a Garza curveball. A good one. One away. Father's Day. Oh, there's a good-looking shot. That is Jeff Levering, radio voice of the Brewers, and his son Brock. Come on, man. What a beautiful shot that is.
Yep, that's what it's all about. If you have to work on Father's Day, bring your son with you.
Work with your son in your lap. We call him the Brock Star around here.
We're good buddies, me and Brock.
I know. The Brock and Rock Show.
Yeah.
He's always looking for you.
Got that connection. See, not all kids are afraid of me.
I know 2 that aren't. That's a fair ball inside the bag. Danielle took a spill, but Howie Kendrick with a single.
Dangerous work down there.
She's got him coming at her all day today. She failed to get the bucket this time, but managed to get the feet up.
And slices that one on a fastball in. Look out, Danielle. And doing a good job keeping the ball in play.
Got to have strong abs right there. That's what it is. Athlete. That's the thing about baseball. It's a very slow pace until just the right moment of action, and then you got to be on your toes, ready to go.
Fast twitch muscles, even for the ball girl.
So a man on, it's a single. And here's A.J. Ellis batting 8th in the lineup today. Ellis, his lone start in this series. Wisconsin resident. Works out in Milwaukee in the offseason. He's the only big league player that lives in Wisconsin. He's from Kentucky. That's his home state. Played his college ball at Austin Peay, and that's where he met his wife, Cindy. She's from the Milwaukee area. She was a volleyball player. He and Marcus Hamill, good buds. Look
out together. Pitchers rave about A.J. Ellis and the kind of catcher he is. Blocks everything, calls a good game. And he's always coming up with the big hit against Milwaukee, it seems like.
He's got a good approach at the plate. He's not looking to drive the ball out of the ballpark, make contact. A 2-1 count. You never know if Howie Kendrick might be on the move here on a hit and run. Ellis is a good guy to hit and run with as well.
Typically makes contact. It's a .242 lifetime hitter against the Brewers with a couple of homers. Ow, drilled. Garza hits him. And Ellis is aboard. That was the man he wanted. Now a man on, or 2 on with 1 out, and the pitcher coming up.
Yeah, trying to come inside and just let it get away a little bit. And Garza wanted to get that out and then deal with the pitcher. Maeda coming up now. He's probably going to be up there to bunt. Although he has hit a home run this year. Hit one in San Diego in his first start.
And now we're going to have a meeting at the mound. This is Craig Counsell wanting to talk bunt strategy, I'm guessing here. You know, I think if Dave Roberts had the series not gone the way it's gone with the short starts, you might see a pinch hitter in a spot like this. But he may need innings out of Maeda. He's got the interpreter with him to pass along the message to Maeda. So we shall see. There's a lot of discussion about this. You got the Brewers manager on the mound with the infielders. You got the Dodgers manager with the interpreter and the batter.
Well, I think one of the things that Counsell wanted to talk about, how can his corner infielders best field this bunt? I don't think they want Garza handling the baseball.
That's a great point. Garza's already committed 1 error in this game. And there's the bunt, and it's going to be Maldonado as play is first base. He'll take the out there. Good bunt by Maeda. Sacrifice. Advances the runners to second and third. But Garza does get the second out.
That's a pretty good job by Maeda getting that high fastball down on the ground. Very easily could have popped that up. And an easy play for Maldonado.
High fives for the pitcher. Getting the bunt down. And now a key moment in the game for Matt Garza with Chase Utley coming up. A base hit could put the Dodgers on top. Utley has singled, and he has hit the ball deep into left center. That was that great catch by Nieuwenhuis. So he's got 2 successful at-bats today against Garza. He's hit the ball hard twice. Nieuwenhuis robbed him of an extra base hit back in the 3rd inning. 2 on, 2 out. Tied him up. Good fastball.
Good pitch inside.
And a step off. Maldonado asked for and was granted timeout.
Kendrick really trying to rattle Garza out there on the mound. He's been taking a couple of quick steps toward home plate, like he's trying to get Garza to flinch, balk, do something to score a run. But Garza, at this point, has not been bothered by it.
Garza working in the stretch. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. This time Utley asked for timeout. See the home plate umpire Tim Timmons clapping his hands saying, let's go. Let's go, boys. It's hot. Big pitch though. 0-2. Utley takes a ball. 37-year-old Chase Utley. 34-year-old Chase Utley might have hit that one out his last time up. That's some big home run years for the Phillies. Twice he hit over 30 homers for the Phillies. And Utley rolls over one, over the bag, fair ball, race to the bag. Carter beats him. And the inning is over. Matt Garza making his pitches when it counts. Brewers still lead 1-0 after 5 at Dodger Stadium. TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app, take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. Father's Day action here in Los Angeles. Jacob Barnes with his brand new baby, his first Father's Day. There's Martín Maldonado and his dad. Great pictures coming in for the Brew Crew. Jeremy Jeffress with his young daughter. Special day for all the fathers. There's Jonathan Lucroy, Captain America. He's a great father as well. Yeah, good pictures. Appreciate the guys sending those in for us. Ryan Braun, soon to be a father of 2. He's got a beautiful daughter with those big eyes. She looks surprised.
Yeah. A lot of the kids have been on the family trip here, to the West Coast.
Braun swings and pulls one foul. Yeah, they're superstar athletes, but when they're around their kids, they're just regular dads. And on the trip here, or on the trip from Milwaukee to San Francisco, Ryan Braun and his wife Larissa, they were trading turns, walking their daughter up and down the aisle. She walked up and down the aisle the whole way here.
Trying to tire her out, right? You remember those days, don't you?
Heck yeah. Little flare in the shallow left center. Got a long run for everybody. That's going to fall, a base hit. Braun trying to get to second, and he is out.
Yeah, I don't think he was running hard right out of the box. Well, there's no excuse in the major leagues for a ball like that to drop. That's going to be a single and a throw out at second base. But I'll tell you, as far as deep as Chase Peterson plays, I mean, or Jock Peterson, somebody's got to catch that baseball. That's up in the air too far. Somebody's got to get it. It drops, but Ryan Braun trying to get in there with a double, and he's an easy out.
Utley stood right in there on a tag. Boy, Braun was coming in cleats high. And Maeda gets the out after a single. You got an inexperienced left fielder, Howie Kendrick, a second baseman by trade. He's been playing a lot of left field this year. Peterson playing in the stands in center field, about as deep as you can play.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason why a ball like that should drop, but it did. And Braun got thrown out at second base.
Carter takes a strike on the outside corner. Carter's questioning that call from the home plate umpire.
I think somebody from the Brewers bench questioning it too. Tim Timmons taking his mask off and barking back. I think it was Pat Murphy.
Foxtracks had it in the zone. And fastball gets in on the hands of Carter.
Today's not a day you want to irritate the umpire too much.
I'm with you.
You know,
good call.
I think the fuse will be a little bit short for Tim Timmons.
That same technology we give you on Foxtracks, that's the same thing that the umpires have as their grading system. And Carter, a swing and a miss. Down he goes. 2 outs in the inning. Maeda with 7 strikeouts now.
Yeah, he's been on a strikeout roll. He struck out the side in the 4th. And most of the strikeouts coming on the slider, as we were informed before the game started. 2 strikes, he likes that pitch.
Aaron Hill falls behind quickly. No balls, 2 strikes. And that one hits the edge. A strikeout for Maeda. 8 punch outs today. And these 2 pitchers are rolling along now to the bottom of the 6th. Brewers lead 1-0 over the Dodgers. First inning homer has stood up for Matt Garza today. As we take a look at our Carsoup.com trivia, the only father-son combination to each have a 50-plus home run season in the majors. Father-son combo.
Good one, huh?
50 or more homers in a season in the majors. That is a good one. I thought between me, you, and Kent Sommerfeld of Brewers Radio, we had all the father-son combos down in our webcast.
Yeah,
this
right.
is one that I haven't thought of.
Matt Garza facing Corey Seager. Seager has been up there hacking. He has not seen many pitches today, but he has 2 hits. Last time he was up, he singled to right. That was the play when Flores fielded the base hit and then threw out Maeda, the base runner, at third. Great throw. And one of the best plays of the day. Ground ball, backhanded by Hill. Nice play. And there is out number 1. His defense continues to be stellar. Up in on the grass, maybe expecting a bunt. Not a whole lot of reaction time over there.
Yeah, especially on the backhand. Look how far off the line he is. And nice soft hands for Aaron Hill and an easy throw to first. Well, Garza's done a fairly good job retiring the leadoff hitter so far today. It's only the first inning leadoff hitter was able to reach.
Justin Turner now takes a strike. A sweeping breaking ball from Garza. And another one, and Turner offers at it. I think it might have been a strike anyway in the zone. 0-2 the count.
Right on the edge. Garza's had good command in today's game.
Garza pitching in his 6th inning. Maeda is through 6 with 8 strikeouts. Turner to right just flips one for a base hit. Well, that's a good piece of hitting by Justin Turner.
He's seeing it well today, actually in the series.
First baseman,
Single to right
Gonzalez.
with 1 away. Just a little flick of the wrist.
Most of the hits have been to left field in this series, and this time able to just punch one out there into right field for a 1-out single.
There's Adrian Gonzalez now, who is 0 for 2. 2 fly ball outs to left. Brewers got a 1-out first inning home run from Scooter Gennett, opposite field homer. And they threatened in the 2nd and the 3rd. They had 2 men on in each of those 2 innings. But that 1-0 score is standing up tall for Garza right now as Gonzalez takes a strike.
In all honesty, he's pitched very well. He's been working the corners very nicely, both inside and outside to both righties and lefties, and has been able to flip up enough curveballs to keep him honest.
Looking for the ground ball here. Brewers would love to turn 2. Maldonado wants a new set of signals from the bench, not for the pitches, for the pitch outs and whatnot. That's why you see the big league catchers look into the dugouts. Catchers are still responsible for calling the game. The pitcher has last say, but every catcher will look into the dugout before every pitch with a man on base.
Yeah, to see if they want to pitch out or throw over, one of those 2 things.
Garza's got the one he wants. 2-1. I know there's a lot of amateur coaches that call pitches for their catchers. And I can't recommend strongly enough that you stop doing that.
How's the catcher going to learn, right?
Teach the catcher and the pitcher to think about the game plan, even though you might know best as a coach, or at least you think you do. It's better in the long run to have the players on the field think about it. Ground ball to second, chance to turn it. Jeanette to VR, the throw to first in time. Garza gets his double play ball. The inning is over. And Matt Garza is through 6 innings in just his 2nd game of the season. 1-0 Brewers. Is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. One to nothing, the Brewers lead the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. We're going to the 7th inning here on this hot, sunny Sunday, Father's Day. A young Brewers fan in the house. Maeda continues on. He has 8 strikeouts. Matt Garza only has 2, but he's gotten a lot of big outs with men on base. The Quicken Loans Rocket Arms comparison today. Maeda is a strikeout away from a season high, which is a career high as well. And there's a base hit. Neuenhuis turns one around. And he will single to start this inning. So the Brewers get a man on again. 3rd consecutive inning they have started an inning with a base hit.
And goes down and gets an off-speed pitch. I think it was an off-speed pitch, but Neuenhuis able to bend the knees, level out the bat, and start the inning well for the Milwaukee. Been playing a lot out in center field against right-handed pitching. Actually, that was a 4-seam fastball.
Bullpen starts to get active for Los Angeles. That is Pedro Baez loosening. He's pitched twice in this series. Maldonado on the first pitch. High pop-up. Seager is back, and there is out number 1. And Maldonado is 0 for 3 today.
Yeah, you would figure the Brewers are going to go to the bench. You know, Garza's 6 innings. Has pitched well. Brewers need some runs. But we'll see. He's coming out on the on-deck circle.
Yeah, he's grabbing a bat just as you say that.
Well, his pitch count's pretty good, though. I mean, really, not too many. I mean, he's in pretty good shape. Yeah, 70 pitches. He might go out there again.
Coming off an 11-pitch inning. A strike to Flores. Now Ramon has made an impact defensively today. He's had a couple of nice catches, one in foul territory, and had a big assist. He threw out a runner at 3rd on a base hit to right. Best throw he's made all year.
Brewers have been able to end innings twice with runners with throws to the bases. One at 3rd, one at home.
Good catch.
They're booing because he has a Giants shirt on.
Oh, that's right. I missed that. Why boo that kid? Oh, he's wearing a Giants shirt.
Boy, it's an intense rivalry, isn't it, with those two teams?
As a matter of fact, Klay Thompson, beloved in the Bay Area for his talents with the Golden State Warriors, came to a Dodger Giant game wearing a Dodger hat. His brother is on the team. His brother's Trace, the right fielder. They put him up on the Jumbotron. He got booed loudly. Then they cheered him the next day.
Take the hat off, right? And cheer him.
You know, Trace is going to be dialed into a television tonight. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. His brother Klay and the Warriors against LeBron James and the Cavs. Going to be a thriller.
Who do you got tonight?
I feel like Golden State is due to win one, but they're not exactly healthy right now. No Bogut.
Yeah,
Curry's not
lead, right?
Yeah, 3-1. It's hard to beat Golden State 3 times. Nobody's done it all year. So I'll take the Warriors. That's a hard place to win too, Oracle Arena in Oakland. We're going to be right next door to Oracle Arena beginning Tuesday. And if the Warriors do win it and there is a parade, we might be right in the middle of it. There's a base hit. Flores goes to the opposite field. Just reached down and pops one to left. Good piece of hitting.
That'll end today for Garza for sure.
Yeah, Council's going to pull Garza back, and he's going to send up his best available bat in this spot.
I would imagine if Flores made it out, that might have sent Garza back out there for another inning. But
consider number 20, Jonathan Lucroy.
Craig Counsell would like to have some insurance runs here, and with the lead, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning has been pretty good for Milwaukee, especially with Michael Blazek back inactive.
Now the Brewers made a move last night. Corey Knebel to AAA, and Blazek activated off the disabled list. He had been down with an elbow injury. Dave Roberts will make the call to the bullpen. So Counsell's move with Lucroy forces Roberts' move with his starting pitcher. Maeda will exit. An excellent start, but he's going to leave down a run. Counsell is going to send Jonathan Lucroy to the plate with 2 men on and 1 out.
Hey, it's another free shirt Friday at Miller Park this upcoming Friday, June 24th, as the Brewers start their weekend series against the Nationals. All fans at the ballpark will get a camo ball and glove t-shirt courtesy of Hupy and Abraham. Go to brewers.com for tickets.
That logo kind of reminds me of Jonathan Lucroy. Well, Rock, Maeda pitched a beautiful game today. Looked like he was on the ropes early with a lot of pitches in the first 2 innings, but he settled down and struck out 8 across 6 1/3.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He had 5 consecutive outs that were strikeouts in the 3rd and 4th innings. Walked 3. 2 of those walks came in the 2nd inning. The only blemish on his mark today. A 1st inning home run by Scooter Gennett, but the runners on base are his responsibility as Pedro Baez continues here in the 7th. His 3rd appearance out of the bullpen against the Brewers in this series. And pretty good numbers for the hard-throwing right-hander.
1-0 on a Gennett 1st inning homer. And Counsell pinch hits Lucroy for Garza, who had just 70 pitches in 6 shutout innings. Taking his shot at some offense right here. 2 on, 1 out. 3rd appearance of the series for Baez. Lucroy started the first 3 games. And a pinch hit appearance today. As a pinch hitter, Lucroy hasn't done it much this year. He's just 0 for 3. Usually his days off are true days off. And a jam shot. Baez hesitates, out at second, throw to first in time. And just like that, the Dodgers get out of the inning. A double play to end it, and it's still 1-0. Our scores, the Brewers lead the Dodgers.
Well, it's time for today's time of the game winner. Good Vibes Bar and Grill in Bondwell, as they call the Brewers, by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Well, Matt Garza's day is done here in Dodger Stadium. Impressive performance in his 2nd start of the year. 6 shutout innings. And certainly could have kept going in this game, but Greg Counsell feeling like the last inning was the opportunity to score some runs. And so you can close the book on Garza. He exits with a 1-0 lead.
Scattered 5 hits and was able to throw a lot of strikes. Did not walk a batter, and in all honesty, had some very good defense behind him today as Blaine Boyer takes over here in the bottom of the 7th. 28th appearance for Boyer and an earned run average at about 3.5.
Dodgers get a key double play with 2 on to end the 7th. Pedro Baez gets Lucroy to bounce up the middle. And now Boyer trying to keep the Dodgers shut out at this point as Trace Thompson leads off for Los Angeles.
Boyer has been so good all season long, but his last 2 appearances he's struggled a bit. He's given up 6 runs in his last 2 outings. That covers an inning and 2/3.
Yeah, Boyer, a father of 2, all dressed up, good-looking kids. They are on the trip with him here. Thompson, center field. Sounded like he got it in on the hands a little bit, and Neuenhuis has room to make the play for the out. Oh, the ball is really traveling. That is such a routine fly ball on any other night at Dodger Stadium. This one, though, sent Neuenhuis to the track almost.
Yeah, it looked like a slider that hung up there, and it was so bad it was good. It jammed Thompson that time, and he got the out to center field. That's why Maldonado's going out there. Let's not throw that again.
And Boyer says, I agree with you.
Yeah, got away with it.
Jock Peterson now. The Brewers had a 2-1 lead late innings on Friday night. Justin Turner hit a home run off Thornburg to tie it, and then the Dodgers would win in 10 innings. Clinging to a 1-run lead today. Dodgers have some thump in their lineup. They've got some home run hitters. And they still have Grandal on the bench available to pinch hit if needed. Peterson got in on his hands, and a pop up over to Aaron Hill for out number 2. Good work by Blaine Boyer. 2 up, 2 down in the 7th inning. Back to our Carsoup.com trivia today. The only father-son combo to each have 50 or more homers in a season. And that would be the Fielders. Prince, as a Brewer, did it in 2007. Cecil in 1990 as a member of the Detroit Tigers. What a year that was for Fielder in 07. And then the Brewers would make it into the postseason in 08.
I saw Cecil Fielder hit some of the longest home runs. He actually hit one completely out of County Stadium one night. That was off Dan Plesac. You should hear Sack tell that story.
Every pitcher worth his salt can tell you instantly the longest home run he ever gave up. And if your self-esteem is at a certain level, then you can have some fun with it.
Right, yeah, like Burt Blyleven could have some fun with that.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Right. He gave up some homers, 51 year.
A lot of them were solo home runs, though, right?
Yeah, didn't walk many.
2 outs, Howie Kendrick. And a 1-0 Brewer lead. Kendrick homered yesterday to the opposite field. He got the start at second base yesterday. Today he's in there as the left fielder. Two balls and a strike. And Kendrick thinking opposite field, fouls it away. That's where his strength is. He's got a lot of power into right center and right field. Dodgers have had a revolving door in left field this year. Carl Crawford was recently released with a hefty salary yet to pay. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Boyer, a 3 up, 3 down 7th. Impressive scoreless inning for Boyer. Culminates in a strikeout of Howie Kendrick. Got him with a fastball. To the 8th we go. 1-0 Brewers on Father's Day in LA.
That first inning home run holding up for the Brewers. At this point, we head to the 8th, and calling all students at Miller Park this Friday, June 24th. The Brewers host the Nationals, and all high school and college students can get $10 tickets, plus enjoy a special happy hour menu through the first inning. For tickets, go to brewers.com/students.
On a hot Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles. Last game of the series, Brewers trying to earn a split of this 4-gamer. And they are clinging to a 1-0 lead. A first inning Scooter Gennett homer is the difference in this game right now. Pedro Baez back out. He will start the 8th. Top of the order for the Brewers. Jonathan Villar leads off. Then Gennett and then Braun. Jonathan is 0 for 3. Had a line out his first time up. He hit the ball well his first trip, but he hit it right at the Dodgers center fielder. Matt Garza, Kenta Maeda, both out of the game, the 2 starters, and both in the position of decision in this game right now. Garza in the winner's circle. Maeda would take the loss, but still a lot of baseball to be played yet. Brewers would love to add on here, something they haven't been able to do, and that's what cost them on Friday night. That was a really good game. It was a 2-1 final. A 3-2 final, I should say, but it was 2-1 in the late innings when Turner hit the home run to tie it. But the Brewers had a number of chances on Friday to add to their lead and stretch it out a little bit. They could not, and then Turner got him in the 8th.
They stranded 12 base runners in that game. And they were 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's the one that gets you, that number. Brewers felt like they let one get away on Friday night, and then the Dodgers had another comeback yesterday with an offensive explosion. A 10-6 win, even though the Brewers at one point had a 3-run lead. Villar takes a ball. 3-2 the count on the Brewers switch hitting shortstop.
Yeah, it was Baez that gave up the home run to Villar on Thursday night in the 9th inning. That 2-run shot that gave the Brewers an 8-6 victory. Home run to dead center.
Off the speaker in center field. It was a blast. Full count. Lead man up in the 8th inning for Milwaukee. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Gave him the big fastball at 96 miles an hour, and Villar is gone. Well, Scooter Gennett has provided the only run today. 1 out, first inning. Just getting started at Dodger Stadium, and bam, Gennett goes deep. And you felt like this was going to be a day for the offense today. Hitter-friendly Dodger Stadium with temperatures soaring in the upper 90s. But it hasn't been the case. You got to give credit to the pitching staffs. Gennett pulls one out to second base. Utley will make the play for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Baez.
Field number 8, Ryan Braun.
And here comes Ryan Braun. At the plate for Braun, presented by Wendy's. 2 hits, including a double. Tried to stretch a single into a double. He was thrown out in the 6th inning. Shot one through the left center field gap in the 3rd. Hit a homer here last night to right field. His 7th career home run at Dodger Stadium. Most ever by a Brewer at Dodger Stadium.
They've got that home run last night right down that right field line. Dropped it into seats between the bullpen and the foul pole. Showing good power to the opposite field. Yep, right about third row right there.
Remember that kid's working the phone. And what was cool about that home run last night, I was telling Ryan after the game, he was kind of curious what was going on because there was so much crowd noise because they didn't throw the ball back, the home run back. And I said, well, it was a Brewer fan who caught it, and there are Brewer fans in those same seats today. Must be a connection somewhere. But a lady in Brewers gear caught that home run by Braun, and she wasn't about to give it back. No, she was going to keep that souvenir. 0-2 the count to Braun. And right to Utley. That's going to be a 3-up, 3-down inning. And Baez, impressive 5 outs for the Dodgers out of the bullpen. We go to the bottom of the 8th. You see Will Smith on to pitch this 8th inning. The Brewers lead 1-0 over the Dodgers. What a game today on Father's Day at Dodger Stadium. And Smith facing A.J. Ellis to start this 8th inning.
Yeah, good numbers for Smith. 10th appearance, last pitched on Friday, and threw up a perfect 3-up, 3-down 9th inning.
Only run he gave up was on a wild pitch in San Francisco earlier on this road trip. Ellis today was hit by a pitch his last time up. He grounded out in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for Los Angeles. And we'll see a pinch hitter next. There's a strike. 1-2 the count on the Dodger catcher.
Yeah, just now, Kike Hernandez came out on the on-deck circle. It was a while before they had a pinch hitter out there.
The 1-2 pitch. Ellis lines one, foul in the seats. Got out ahead of a breaking ball. right down the middle with that slurve or slider. It's a couple of different varieties of that pitch. He holds it the same way, Will Smith, but he can throw it up there at different speeds. And the 1-2 is a fastball called strike 3. Ellis is out. And Will Smith's first batter faced ends in a backwards K.
Yeah, good command of the fastball. The velocity not quite there yet from what we're used to seeing from Will Smith, but got a little bit of a call there, maybe off the corner a bit. Too close to take with 2 strikes.
Kike Hernandez will pinch hit. Baez is out after an inning and 2/3. Impressive 5 outs for Baez out of the Dodger bullpen. There's that big curveball. Tell you, one of the reasons Smith might have got that call is Martín Maldonado put the glove up and didn't move it. Put it in the spot he wanted, and Smith hit it perfectly. 2-0 to Hernandez.
That certainly has a bearing on what an umpire might call the movement of the catcher and the catcher's mitt.
Two and Hernandez fouls it away. 2 balls and a strike. Hernandez got a start in left field in game 2. He's been coming off the bench for Dave Roberts. This is his 25th at bat off the bench. He's 4 for 24 coming into this at bat today. And that's launched. Hernandez, just like that, ties this game at 1. On a 2-1 pitch, Kike Hernandez with a pinch hit home run. It is his first pinch hit homer of the season, his 5th overall. And it's a brand new ball game now.
Yeah, of all these guys in the lineup, you don't expect Kike Hernandez to tie it up with a big fly, but that's what happened. Boy, oh boy. Fastball down the middle, and Hernandez gets good extension. Actually, that was middle in and drove it out of here. Will Smith got behind in the count, had to come in with a fastball, and Hernandez ties the game.
That was way out of here. No doubt about that one. So 1 out, a run is in. 2 solo homers in this game. Scooter Gennett and now Kike Hernandez, 2 unlikely power sources. And this crowd of nearly 46,000, most of them ducking in for shade, are starting to make their voices heard now. 0-2 to Utley. That's the safe spot underneath. A little rollover ground ball to Gennett, and this will be out number 2. Well, your best bat flip could be your ticket to the MLB All-Star Game in San Diego. Post a video of your bat flip to @Fox Sports with the hashtag Fox Bat Flip Contest. Now through June 26th, visit foxsports.com/bat flip contest for more information. 2 outs, 1-1 game. Here's Corey Seager. A strike with a breaking ball. Brewers bullpen has been so good, especially in a winning scenario late, but twice in this series, late leads given up. 8th inning home runs.
Yeah.
Justin Turner did it on Friday night off Thornburg to tie a game at 2. And Kike Hernandez today to tie it at 1.
And you're almost thinking why Dave Roberts didn't go with Grandal in that situation. He didn't expect Kike Hernandez to hit a home run. But he did, and he tied it up. So a good move by the Dodgers manager.
Off the bat, nearly 103 miles an hour. And there was a no-doubter into the Dodger bullpen. As if he was looking for it.
Oh, he was. It was a 2-1 pitch. He was looking for a fastball.
There's a called strike 3. Seager is rung up. And the inning is over, but the Dodgers tie it up. Pinch hit homer by Hernandez. 1-1 game as we go to the ninth. Got a Father's Day thriller at Dodger Stadium today. On a hot Sunday afternoon, the Dodgers just tied with a pinch hit home run. All tied at 1. This game today on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Chris Carter will lead off for the Brewers. New pitcher is Kenley Jansen. The Dodgers closer gets the 9th inning in a tie game.
Yeah, 30th appearance, 19 for 22 in save opportunities. He's got that good cut fastball that he likes to use. He's only allowed the 1 home run this year. And Brewers have the middle of their order coming up.
And a fastball strike, that cutter in there at 93 miles an hour. Well, Brewers were in the same situation Friday night, letting a late lead get away. Dodgers won the game in 10. The Brewers would like to flip the script here today. 0-2 the count. Jansen has been a tough customer this year. 19 saves this season. And it goes up the ladder, and Carter strikes out for the first out of the ninth.
And last 2 pitches out of the strike zone, and Chris Carter chased them both. Best pitch they hit was the first strike, and got him to chase.
Got about a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, does Jansen. That's his 25th K of the year, only 8 walks. He does give up some hits, though. He has more hits than innings pitched this season. Stringing together hits is the tough part.
Yeah, stringing together hits and taking them out of the ballpark. Both of those things he doesn't do too often. Only 1 home run.
Melvin Upton Jr. with that home run for the Padres. That's the lone one he's allowed this year. Aaron Hill, a shot right to short. Line drive out for the second out of the inning. Now the Brewers are going to have a team off day tomorrow in the Bay Area.
heading to Oakland after today's game, and then a 2-game series with the A's to complete the home-and-home interleague set. And our Miller Lite What's on Tap, Jimmy Nelson and Junior Guerra will get the starts for the Brewers. Night game Tuesday, day game Wednesday.
And Brewers didn't face either one of those two starters back in Milwaukee. Neuenhuis, ground ball to first. Gonzalez to the bag, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jansen. Going to be a final at-bat win for someone today. Brewers are hoping this one gets to the 10th inning. Of the Dodgers in the 8th inning, and here we go to the bottom of the 9th now. Well, the Brewers got on the board way back in the first. Scooter Gennett, second batter of the game, launched one out of here to left center, and that was the only run the Brewers have been able to muster up today. Then in the 8th inning, another unlikely power source, Kike Hernandez, his first pinch hit homer of the season. And that tied it up, so that's where we are as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Father's Day special here at Dodger Stadium. Tyler Thornburg will have the bottom of the 9th inning for Milwaukee. Thornburg gave up the home run to Justin Turner on Friday night. And 31st appearance for Thornburg. He's given up 5 home runs, but the earned run average very good at 283. Got the middle of the order to deal with in this 9th inning.
And Justin Turner has been a nemesis for the Brewers over the last couple of games. Singled his last time up off Garza. Garza pitched a beautiful game. And Turner on the first pitch. Pop up into left field. Braun is there, and that's a demon for Tyler Thornburg to exercise. Remember, it was Turner who homered off Thornburg to tie the game Friday night in the 8th inning. So he wipes him out on one pitch. And here now is Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah, throwing the fastball up and in. He knew he wasn't going to make a mistake with a breaking ball again to Turner. Got him on an easy fly ball.
Gonzalez today 0 for 3. He's been a part of 2 double plays. Bounced into a traditional 4-6-3 double play in the 6th. That's lined into center, a base hit. 1 out hit, and the potential winning run is on.
It looked like Gonzalez able to wait back long enough on a changeup that time from Thornburg. And muscles it out there in the center field. He's been behind the fastball pretty much the entire series. Got an off-speed pitch and hit it hard.
Trace Thompson now. Say hi to a viewing party watching the Brewers today in Rivers Bend. in Montello, Wisconsin. You're seeing a good one today for sure. Thompson 0 for 3 today. Flew out to deep center last time up. He hit a shot to third. That's a line drive to right, base hit. Back-to-back hits for the Dodgers. And now Tyler Thornburg in all kind of trouble here with the winning run at second base.
And they're probably going to get a pinch runner now for Adrian Gonzalez. And yep, there they are. And Slikes coming out. They wanted to wait to see if Gonzalez got to second before they went with a pinch runner. Well, that's a big bat out of the lineup if this game should go to the 10th.
Scott Van Slyke will run. Gonzalez is out. And Thornburg is going to have to deal with Jock Peterson. Dodgers have already had a walk-off in this series. And Craig Counsell hoping it's not another one today. Can be a lonely spot on the mound, on the road, especially in a venue like this, with the game on the line. Brewers are playing back, looking for a ground ball. A double play would end this inning and force extra innings.
That's our first pitch fastball here.
Peterson's got big power. And it is a fastball, and it's a strike. A little up in the zone.
Inside corner, good pitch.
Van Slyke, good speed at second. The pinch runner for Gonzalez. Peterson chased it.
Good block by Moldy.
Keeps the runners at first and second. Count goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
A curve ball down. Maldonado, nice block on a tricky bounce.
Very calmly making that play. That's a big one. You get a runner at third base and 1 out. That changes a lot defensively for the Brewers. Oh, and 2 the count. Thornburg needing to make a big pitch. Winning run at second. Peterson lays off this time. Another good block by Maldonado. Those kind of plays, they don't show up in the box score, but they are huge plays in a game, especially in a situation like this.
Yeah, ball gets by him. It doesn't take a hit to win the game. But you got to do it if you're a major league catcher.
Dodgers tied it with a 1-out home run in the 8th. Pinch hitter Kike Hernandez. Now they're threatening to win in the bottom of the 9th after back-to-back singles by Gonzalez and Thompson. One and 2 the count. And it's a called strike. Throw to second. Safe is the call as the ball bounced off the chest of VR. Boy, he stood in there and wore it.
And he had to. If that ball gets by him, then Van Slyke able to get to third.
It's a strikeout of Peterson. And it was almost a strikeout pickoff double play.
And check this out. He's giving himself up and able to keep it in the infield.
Ooh, right in the collarbone.
Almost got him in the chin. Look out. But a good pitch by Thornburg. Another fastball in. Peterson took one for a first strike. That one had plenty of the plate. I think Peterson looking for something else.
If that throw carries another foot, it's an out at second base. But you appreciate the effort by VR to stand in there and make sure it didn't go into center field. 2 outs now. Big strikeout for Thornburg of Peterson. Here's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick has a walk-off this year for the Dodgers.
These are the kind of guys you hate to have to face in these situations, these veteran guys that have done this 100 times.
Kendrick had a walk-off on April 14th, early in the schedule, just the second week of the season. That was against the Mariners. Two on, two out, ninth inning. In a tie game, Thornburg deals Kendrick. His knees buckled, but it misses inside. It's 2-0.
Yeah, doubled up on the curveball, missed them both. Well, now he's in a fastball situation. What does he give him? You know, Kendrick's thinking fastball.
Two-0 pitch. Big swing by Kendrick. My goodness. That is an unexpected hack by a guy who normally puts the ball in play. He took a rip.
It's a changeup. 2-0 changeup.
Well, that's the kind of swing the Brewers are looking for from Kendrick. That'll certainly play into the hands of Thornburg. The 2-1 outside, ball 3.
It's almost as if they're willing to walk Kendrick here. I mean, 2 curveballs to get behind 2-0, then a changeup out of the strike zone, and that last pitch not even close. A.J. Ellis on deck.
Winning run at second. And that one misses. Ball 4. So Kendrick draws the walk to load the bases. Dave Roberts is going to go to his bench now. And instead of A.J. Ellis, it'll be Yasmani Grandal, the everyday catcher for the Dodgers. And he'll step up there with a chance to win the game. Going to bring a visit from the Brewer pitching coach, Derek Johnson, who's on his way out for a scouting report, I presume.
And just to calm Thornburg down a little bit. Thornburg doesn't have too many innings like this where he struggled. A couple of hits, a walk. And Grandal is having a rough season, a 184 hitter, and has been having a difficult time from both sides of the plate as a switch hitter. He'll be up there left-handed.
Well, Derek Johnson has had his say. Tyler Thornburg in the fire again. Yasmani Grandal has 1 hit in this series. As a pinch hitter this year, he's 1 for 5. All 5 of those at-bats have come against a right-handed pitcher. Winning run at third. 2 outs in the inning. Grandal takes a ball. Van Slyke carries the winning run. Got to be heads up for a wild pitch here. Maldonado's really got to be on his game to block a pitch. In there, a strike, a fastball. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, but get me over fastball, 93 miles an hour. Thornburg has a little bit more than that, but wanted to catch a corner.
Thornburg's best weapon, best swing and miss weapon, has been his curveball in the dirt. There's got to be something in your brain with the runner at third, the winning run at third, that makes you think about a curveball in the dirt. I felt like that's what happened to him on Friday. Hung one to Turner, who hit it out. Fastball, missed it. Close.
3 straight fastballs, and you wonder if he's going to go with that changeup. That's his swing and miss pitch as well.
2-1 to count. Big swing by Grandal. He fouls it back. He got another fastball. And And now it's 2-2.
Yeah, but it's right on the corner, right on the outside corner. I mean, that's a good pitch. On a 2-1 count with the bases loaded. Put it right where he wanted it.
Well, now does he have the guts to throw an off-speed pitch? Does he stick with a fastball? A lot to think about in a spot like this. Two balls, two strikes. Here it comes. And Grandal able to lay off. Now it's 3-2. Bases are loaded. A walk ends it. A hit wins it. An out sends us to extra innings. Two on the way, outside, ball 4, and the ball game is over. The Brewers lose on a bases-loaded walk in the 9th. And for the second time in this series, the Brewers lose a late lead, and they drop 3 in a row to the Dodgers here in LA after they won the opener. Tough way to lose a game right there.
And not much you can say about the way that one ended. Once again, the Brewers with a lead in the 8th. Can't hold it, lose it. Another final at-bat win for the Dodgers in this series. That's 2. And that's going to make that trip to San Francisco tonight a long one.
First time the Dodgers have had a walk-off walk since 2012. Bad way to end it for the Brewers. Time for Brewers Live now. We send it out to Craig Kashawn. He's in the Dells. Take it away, Craig.